Hello and welcome to a brand new series, The Science of Super. This is a series where I will examine the powers of a superhero from a scientific standpoint and see how these powers would work in the real world. Today we will be looking at the Flash. It is important to note that there have been multiple different incarnations of the Flash over the years, so for the purpose of this video, we will be mostly focusing on just 4 of these incarnations. And just to clarify in case you don't know, the Flash is a superhero with the ability of super speed. Not sure how you ain't know that, but whatever. Now, first off, according to the comics, all the incarnations of the Flash are protected by the Speed Force aura, which protects their suit from being burnt up by the friction of moving at such high speeds. Now, unfortunately, in real life, there's no such thing as a Speed Force aura. This poses a problem because it means, if we're taking this from a scientific standpoint, that logically the suit would burn up immediately if you were to have super speed and run in it. So how can we solve this problem? The first solution would be to find a fire retardant material to make the suit out of, something that won't catch flames. But this doesn't end all the suit's problems. You see, the friction on the suit, whether it's fire retardant or not, would still wear right through it, destroying it and shredding it. A better solution would be to use a material, preferably a dense one, that would not only be flame retardant, but also friction retardant. This would prevent any wear and tear the suit would receive under normal conditions. Unfortunately, the more dense the material of the suit is, the more heavy it is, and the harder it would be to run in. But the real problem here is the boots. You see, the rest of the suit only needs to deal with the friction of the air brushing against it at supersonic speeds, whereas the feet need to deal with the friction of the ground. And there isn't a material in existence that could withhold the friction produced by traveling across the ground at such a high speed. And so there is no real solution to this. But wait! The Flash has accelerated healing. So even without his boots on, he could heal fast enough so that his feet would not get damaged by the friction of the ground. Okay, so now his feet are safe, but what about the rest of his body? We all know that the suit now protects him from friction of the air, but it doesn't protect him from things in the air. Let's say bugs, for example, or other things. If he were to hit them at super speed, it would go right through his body. But remember, he has accelerated healing, which pretty much eliminates this issue altogether. An even easier solution would be to think of this suit as a flame retardant / friction retardant armor that would protect him from bodily harm. Combined with his accelerated healing ability, this would protect him from almost any sort of natural damage his body would take. Now let's talk speed. Jay Garrick, the oldest and slowest Flash, can run at a speed of 770 miles per hour when not tapping into the Speed Force. Since the Speed Force is not a real thing, we will assume that the Speed Force does not exist, and therefore 770 miles per hour is his top speed, which is fast enough for him to run up the sides of buildings and over the surface of water. Therefore, assuming that Jay Garrick's Flash has the suit that would be required to run at super high speeds without being hurt by a friction, it is possible for him to exist in theory. So a superpowered human could run at incredible speeds, assuming they have a strong enough healing factor. But what about the other incarnations of the Flash? As I mentioned earlier, there are multiple incarnations of him, and in this video I plan on talking about 4, or mostly talking about 4. The second Flash is Barry Allen, perhaps the most well-known Flash of them all. Now, Barry Allen's top speed is unknown, because as he practices and trains his powers, he reaches higher and higher top speeds. But according to the television show, the highest speed he has reached so far is 1,534.54 miles per hour, which is really fast. But what exactly could you do at this extreme speed? Well, according to the show and comics, Barry is able to travel through time / back in time at this incredible speed. But in actuality, that's not even possible. Because according to scientific theory, the speed needed to travel back in time is 186,282 miles per second, which is more than 10 times the speed that Barry travels per hour. All the same though, this is still an incredible speed, and provided that Barry's suit can protect him from the insane amount of friction that he would be experiencing at these high speeds, it's safe to say that it's still an amazing feat, and that he'd still be able to do quite a lot. Provided, of course, that his healing factor protects him from a lot of things. Another notable ability I didn't mention earlier, shared by pretty much all of the Flashes, is the ability to phase through things by vibrating their body so quickly that they can actually vibrate through the particles that make up objects. This is because atoms are mostly made up of plain empty space, which can be easily passed through by the Flash. This again, in theory, would be possible. So let's move on to the next Flash, Wally West. Wally West is far faster than Barry Allen. First off, he can break the speed of light with relative ease. Secondly, he can travel back in time on his own at the speed he goes at. Wally West also has the power to use the infinite mass punch. A punch so powerful that it hits with the force of a dwarf star. It is when he runs up to you at incredible speed and punches you with a fist that flies at the speed of light. This would instantly kill any human that came in contact with it. But it's useful against some stronger supervillains. And here's another thing. While the Flash's healing factor and suit protects him from the negative effects of friction at high speeds, the ground doesn't have these abilities. Him running over the ground might set it alight and damage it beyond repair, leaving giant imprints of where his feet landed on the ground, unless he were to move so quickly that the force and gravity wouldn't even affect him, which he can do. But for Jay Garrick, I don't believe he could. But let's go back a second here. Moving so fast that gravity no longer has any effects on you would have profound effects on your body, and would probably kill you. But remember, the Flash's healing factor would solve this. Now let's move on to the fourth Flash, Bart Allen. Bart Allen is by far the fastest Flash. After absorbing the Speed Force, Bart Allen became not only the fastest man alive, but the fastest man who ever lived. With the full power of the Speed Force, he was literally faster than anything that could and ever will exist. Jump forward to Danica Williams, an incarnation of the Flash from the future. In around the year 2040, Danica Williams inherits the power of the Speed Force, not only giving her the usual speed powers, but also enabling her to talk to the previous dead Flashes by entering the Speed Force. Now, she is a very underused character, so not much is known about her because there haven't been that many comics made with her in them. And it has not been verified whether or not she is faster than Bart Allen was. But all that was specified about Bart Allen's speed was that he became the fastest man who ever lived, not the fastest woman who ever lived, which means it's possible that she is faster than him. Not only this, but she displays an unheard of ability. The ability to run on air. By running so fast that the air particles below her feet cannot move and dissociate in time for her to step off of them, allowing her to literally run up air to reach higher heights and in essence fly. Now this would require incredible amounts of speed, but in theory no more speed than it would take to travel at the speed of light, and even Wally West could do that. So it's not unbelievable that she could, although she is the first Flash shown to do this, which means she either has more creativity or more speed than the Flashes before her. So it would appear that in theory it would be possible for someone with superhuman speed to run at incredible speeds, even faster than the speed of light, travel through time, and do much more without any negative repercussions. But you'd be wrong, because there's a few things I haven't mentioned, and we're saving for the end of this video. First off, get rid of that whole idea of saving people and things, because if you were to touch anyone at super speed, it would kill them. Next up, vibrating through things would probably cause it to change form into liquid, or dissociate to the point where it just becomes gas, blending it in with the air, or liquefying full walls of buildings, which isn't really a good thing if you think about it. But that's not even the worst part, because having super speed to this extent would actually kill you. Yes, you heard me right. You would be running so fast that the particles that make up your body literally would not be able to hold on to each other and would fall apart, scattering you fragmented across the universe in individual particles, effectively killing you. No matter how quickly your healing factor can regrow your cells that make up your body, you would not be able to heal from this. so you have to keep it at a much lower speed, or just not use your speed for speed at all. In essence, even though you would have the super speed, you wouldn't be able to use it to its full extent. You could only run at a certain speed before your body would kill itself. So you have to stay behind certain speed, which would just make you a slightly faster human. And not just a slightly faster human, I guess, a very fast human. But let's say for a second it is possible to run at this speed. Well, let's say you hit something. You've destroyed that thing. That thing is obliterated. It has been crushed under the extreme pressure you have run into it. And your body is probably flattened. Now, I'm assuming you could heal out of it, but I don't think you can heal death. And you would be killed pretty well instantly. Now, Speedster's eyes adjust so they can see obstacles and see at super speed, which I guess makes sense and would help you avoid obstacles and avoid being crushed. But what if you needed to run at the speed of light, or worse, faster than the speed of light? You would be effectively blind, because your eyes would not be able to receive light to see your surroundings. You'd just be running randomly, probably crashing into things, and inevitably killing yourself, or worse, killing many, many others. So for this reason, in reality, real-life super speed would be an absolute danger. Not only would it kill you by default, even if your body does somehow manage to hold itself together via healing factor, and manages not to scatter into billions and billions of tiny particles throughout the entire universe, you would kill countless other people and cause billions and billions of dollars in damages for every building or thing you run into or even glide by. Even glancing off of something causes irreparable damage and millions of dollars lost. Not to mention sickness. Every time you would run at an incredible speed, you would get super sick to your stomach and probably a headache. You're also at a much increased risk of heart attack and would likely have tons of other health problems down the line. But only moderate super speed used in moderation and healthfully without going above a certain speed cannot make yourself sick or hurt yourself and others would still be pretty cool, I guess. But on the same note, not all of that super. And so guys, that concludes my analysis of the Flash. He should not be alive. I guess the Speed Force aura is a thing in comics, so he is alive. But without it, he would be dead long ago, along with all the other Flashes and Speedsters in comics. But guys, that's all I have for you today. So until next time, make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video, let me know you liked it, and tell me in the comments if I should continue the series. If you think I should, make sure to let me know what superhero you think I should analyze next, or what power you think I should analyze. And guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button to be notified whenever a new video comes out. I make lots of different types of content, mainly focusing on Pokemon, but I'm hoping to move into comic book direction as well, as I read them often. But guys, till next